is effective communication for social media. But I'm talking about all sorts of social media, just texting online. When you contact anyone online and communicate with anyone, how are you supposed to do it? That's what we're going to go on about in today's session, right? Especially for WhatsApp and Instagram. That's Instagram right there. All right. So today we'll especially just go over WhatsApp and Instagram. Those were most used by me, and I can give you the best details or information as far as those are concerned.
Zen, have
Yes,
you sent me the on the correct ID? I have shared it.
please incorporating. All right, so let's move on. What is rude when it comes to texting? Okay, texting, like people often get confused. Okay, they think they're not sounding rude. That's a big issue that we don't know we're doing. We're sounding rude or angry when we actually are. So to know when you're actually crossing the limits or when you're coming off as rude to someone, it's really important to pay attention to the slide, because show you what comes off as rude and what doesn't. Only because you think you're not being rude doesn't mean you are not being rude. You can be rude. Okay, moving on. All caps, the number one point, all caps. Everyone messes up on this a lot, but sometimes we think we're just saying it to like show our fun. Obviously, some people just have a habit of saying, like my sister, I noticed when she talks to her friends, she uses all caps because she said that's her style. But then she doesn't realize that's actually rude to some people. Let's say a new person sees that, her friends may know that all caps is her style and then understand it. But if a new person sees it, all caps, it comes off as shouting, because a woman's shouting back there. All caps always comes off as shouting. So try and avoid that as much as possible. Fine. So all caps, that's a big no-no. Okay, when it comes to texting, you can only use it. Like the only exception I would say is when you are trying to say a point. Okay, let's say I want to put rude. If I put only rude as all caps, that would make it be okay. But if I put the whole sentence, it'll come off as shouting. If I only put rude, that's kind of showing emphasis on the word rude. So all caps can be used, but only for certain words, not for full sentences. Moving on, unnecessary exclamation marks. Big one, okay, because I've seen it a lot with my friends and everyone, especially kids or girls. Okay, I haven't seen this much in guys. I'm not trying to discriminate, but I'm just saying in general. And even all at once, there's something else will come right now on the same screen, then it'll change. Yes,
Okay.
go ahead, and you can type press R twice. Yeah, so we're talking about unnecessary exclamation marks. Thanks to Ms. Nega, we can continue. So unnecessary exclamation marks, that comes off as shouting or as being aggressive. Okay, let's say I'll go with examples later on. But let's say if I just wrote this point, unnecessary exclamation marks, just normally, and you just read it normally like on a text, you would just read it as unnecessary exclamation marks. But then if with the exclamation mark added, okay, it'll be like unnecessary exclamation marks. So it's like if I'm shouting at you, if I'm showing that I'm serious or rude, those they come off as really rude. Both of these points, all caps and unnecessary exclamation marks, come off as really angry, and they shouldn't be used all the time unless someone does know you. To you, it'll be very rude. Moving on, full stops at the end. So like for adding full stop at the end, initially a lot, because we've been taught since childhood in English that at the end of a sentence you put a full stop. But texting is not normal written paragraphs or essays. This is different. So don't add full stop at the end, because full stops are used to show the end of something. Let's say the end of, it's like, you know how we say, like we prove a point and then we say period, like baat khatam, just stop, that's it, everything's over. That's where full stops are used. And so when you add a full stop, it's like you showing that you want it to end in a really rude way. It's like you ignoring the person. Ma'am, one more type, one more press. Next point. Okay, short and late replies. Now, okay, let's hear me out here. You guys can give short replies if you're busy, or if you're really, if you are busy, let's say you're sleeping, so you can give a reply on time. That's perfect. Okay, there's no issues. But unnecessarily giving short and late replies just because you think you look cool, it's not. Okay, you're pissing off the other person, because let's say they're putting their time to talk to you, and if you're giving short and late replies, It's better to just not give a reply in the first place. So that can piss people off. Let's say just replying with okay after they wrote a whole paragraph. That's wrong. And press enter one more time, there'll come a small thing on the right. Yeah. So now I just use the first three examples. Okay. Don't be late again. That's the word. That's the sentence we're using. Don't be late again. We can say it as don't be late again. Now you personally, yes, you read that and in full caps as option A. It comes off as really aggressive and strong. Fine. Like I'll just like let's say you come to the class right now. Like someone joins right now. 21 participants. Someone joins right now. I can tell them politely, don't be late again, and then I can shout this at them, don't be late again, and that comes off as rude. Fine, in texting. Next point, option B is don't be late again with the exclamation mark. Fine, it wasn't needed, but then this comes off as aggressive that my mood is off and I'm actually mad at you for you coming late. Okay, and then don't be late again with a full stop is I just want you to shut up. It's like I tell you don't be late again with a full stop, which means that you just have to listen and shut. You don't have to say sorry or anything. It's like a end. Okay, that comes off as really rude. It's like the last thing you do. Let's say when your parents are scolding you, okay, they scold you in a way that you can't reply afterwards. They usually scolding you in terms of using a full stop. They're scolding you and they don't want a reply from you. They just want you to listen. And that's what full stops are. They're really aggressive, although they don't look like that. Like that. So avoid using them. Moving on, ma'am, you can press one more time. Okay, now these are just some general points when it comes to texting. Okay, avoid sarcasm with people who you don't know personally. All right, let's say Miss Nikki, she's my maths tuition teacher. Okay, so she knows me and she knows that I sometimes make sarcastic jokes. Okay, and she's even told me off on them once or twice, and it's not good. I shouldn't say it like that. That's because she knows me. Okay, she knows I make those jokes. Okay, but a lot of you people don't. Fine, so if I make the same jokes with you, any of you people, you will actually mind it. You won't know I'll be sarcastic. She would be able to tell. You guys won't. So that's the thing. Don't make sarcastic jokes with people who you don't know personally. Okay, don't leave messages on seen or read. Now, like Miss Nika, she gave me a message earlier. She just said okay. Now, of course, I can't reply to that. So for a message like that, I can leave it on seen or read, right? But let's say someone asks you a question and you just leave it on seen, thinking that you're going to reply afterwards, right? Or think someone will reply. That comes up as really rude. Let's say you ask someone a question in real life and they just walk away. It's the same thing here. So if you don't want to reply to a message right now, you can text them back politely that you will reply afterwards because they are waiting, right? That's the reason they ask something because they want to reply. So leaving them on seen read is actually rude. Okay, moving on. Avoid overuse of emojis, but use them when making a joke to signal us it's a joke. This is super important here because a lot of people they use emojis a lot. Like they'll spam like I don't know 5 laughing emojis, or they'll spam laughing emoji, crying emoji, heart emoji, and etc. Just spam emojis. So that's overuse of them. That actually can come off as annoying because clearly you aren't laughing that much. Okay, no human laughs that much over small things. And the whole emotion thing, emojis that you think you're expressing yourself, you're actually coming off as annoying to a lot of people. So don't spam them unnecessarily. Okay, so like one or two works. Fine. Let's say someone shared a joke. One emoji is super simple. Someone shared a meme to you. I use 3 to 4 laughing emojis. That's simple. But don't go overboard with it. And don't go like with multiple emojis. It's not like biryani that there's multiple tastes or flavors to it. Only one is enough over here. One type of emoji per per text. Moving on, avoid using emojis to signal sad feelings. This is so annoying sometimes. Like when I see when like this can come off as insensitive what I'm saying right now, but I just want you people to listen. But let's say you got your exam result and you put a crying emoji on the side and you put on your story on Instagram or you send a text that I got really bad results. And you put a crying emoji, honestly, it just comes off so like weird because look, if you were crying, okay, if any of you were crying in real life, you would be serious. You wouldn't be in the mood to actually mess around or something, right? So emojis is like you have to open the emojis, select the emoji, and put search the crying emoji and put it. That just comes off as you're not actually crying. You're just putting it because you want to show that you're feeling sad. But just the text itself that I got my results and they're bad. is enough to signal that you're sad. Using sad emojis for showing that you're sad is really it's a really immature thing and something that many people will not understand. Let's say someone passed away and you put like crying emojis, a hundred of them. Like, no, that's not happening. If you actually want a signal, just be mature and type that someone passed away. That'll be more than enough. Moving on, understand that no one owes you a reply. I know previously I said that don't give late replies, but understand that no one owes you a reply. So let's say if someone does not reply to you, don't get mad at them for not replying. All right, don't be like, I'm gonna cut off all ties with this person because they didn't reply to my message. No, let's say they got busy. Let's say they got distracted. You don't know what's going on, right? That's a good thing. The good thing about text is that we can talk all the time, but at the same time we don't know what's going on. So let's say there's some issue going on at my friend's house, and he was talking to me, and then suddenly his mom came in the room, and he had to like close chat. So he left my last message on scene when he did intend to reply. Now, I'm not going to be mad at him for doing that, because it's not like I've given him any money or something to reply to me. No, it's his choice at the end of the day. So don't be mad at people for not replying. Okay, and same goes for you. Okay, if like don't like leave. Let's say your dad is scolding you. Okay, or your family's having a talk. Don't think that you have to reply. Like absolutely have to reply to a person, because you don't. Okay, like you don't. It's not like a must or do or die thing that if you don't reply, something bad's gonna happen. If you're actually busy, it's okay to reply afterwards. You don't have to cancel out your life to just reply okay to someone's message. All right, moving on. If you make a typo, don't delete your message, just correct that specific word in the next message by sending it with a typo, with an asterisk sign that shows it's a typo. Like, why would you do that? Because look, on WhatsApp, fine, if you delete a message for everyone, it stays in the chat that a message was deleted, and now everyone's gonna be curious what the message was. And they think you're hiding something. They think you sent something that you change your mind on afterwards. So don't do that. On Instagram, I use that way more. On Instagram, I've seen that a notification will come, a message was unsent, but then they don't show which person's unsent the message, and that's really annoying and bothering, because now you don't know who was supposed to talk to you. So just don't unsend messages. If you made a typo, correct it afterwards. Okay, and think twice before sending a message. Let's say you don't want to talk about that anymore. You should have thought about it earlier. Now, if you sent a message, just leave it there. Don't unsend. That's really rude sometimes. The other person does not know what's going on and what your purpose is. Right, so just go over these points again. I'll just go over them quickly, Miss Nigger. Avoid sarcasm with people you don't know properly, okay, or personally. Don't leave messages on seen or read. Avoid overuse of emojis and use them when making a joke to signal that it's a joke. Don't spam like 100 different emojis. Okay, avoid using emojis to signal sad feelings. If you're sad, truly, just a text will be enough. Don't like put a lot of crying emojis to show that you're crying. People will, that just comes off immature. That's something a kid would do. Moving on, understand no one owes you a reply. No one has to give you replies. Don't be mad at someone for not replying on time. And same goes for you don't have to cancel your stuff to reply to people. And lastly, if you make a typo, don't unsend it. In the next message, just type with the asterisk sign. Moving on, Miss Nigat. Okay. How to talk in group chats. This is the last slide. Okay, but I'll do a quick recap afterwards. How to talk in group chats. Don't get too personal unless everyone else is getting personal. Now, what does that mean? Let's say the Perho and Perhao group. It's a huge group, right? There are a lot of people there. And a lot of people over there know Miss Nigat personally. Let's say some of her friends are there. Okay, like a lot of us kids who are in the group, we're not Miss Nigat's personal friends. So we can't just joke around with her like how her friends can. And let's say her friends just go on and be like, how are you, Nigat? What's been happening? I haven't seen you since that party at this person's house. When you start doing that, okay, you're getting person in a group with other people who don't know someone that personal, okay? Let's say I'm on my office group and two people are really good friends and they start talking about their own stuff. The rest of the people in the group, they have no idea what's going on, right? So don't do that unless everyone is getting personal. Let's say it's a group of only close friends. All of us know each other and all of us are making jokes and stuff. And that's understandable because everyone knows what's going on. Don't talk about something other people do not know about. All right, don't get personal that much on group chats. Just avoid it unless everyone else is being personal. Fine, then stick to a topic of the group as much as you can. Fine, If we start talking about cricket match or Parhar group, it's going to be really awkward. Fine. So stick to our topic. Parhar group is for the whole group of Parhar and Parhar, all the teachers and everyone, right? So as long as the chat remains around that or about what Parhar and Parhar's mission is or everything, it's fine. When it moves on to other stuff like this person's party or that cricket match or that football match, group chats can become really annoying and they lose their purpose. All right, moving on, try and be active at times of chatting. Okay, now this is a hard one. Okay, we can't change our routine just to suit other people, especially if you have international groups. Like right now, personally, I am in a policy research group internationally. Okay, I'm a part of this other group, and they're people from different countries, and they have their times at the worst times for me. I'll be sleeping at that time. They're talking, or I have another class like this class right now. They'll probably be talking right now on Instagram. So you see, it's bad times. But then try and be available as much as possible on their time. Like try and fix the time. Now, if let's say like everyone is talking about something. Let's say there's a football match group. Okay, just an example, a football group, like we're talking about a recent match. I don't know if any of you have heard, but Barcelona lost really badly to Bayern Munich. Fine, so let's say that's happening. And that happened like 2 days ago, I think. So I'm not sure. I watch football. That happened 2 days ago. And I reply a day late after everything happened. Like everyone has discussed about how bad the goals were and everything. Everyone has discussed everything. And now I'm finally replying, hey guys, that match was so bad. And like I start saying everything. So now that is messing up, right? Because I'm late. I'm late to a chat. Guys, just give me 1 second. Okay, well, Ibrahim said we don't need to go down that road again. I haven't seen the football match, so look again. I'm going personal here, right? And is that good for all of you who are not interested in football? No, it's not. So now you understand. You can understand now from my mistake right now that I just got personal with football, and a lot of you don't know about it. So yeah, try and be active at times of chatting. If people are chatting, let's say they chat at 4 o'clock all the time, try and be active around 4 o'clock. Don't come at like 10 o'clock in the night and then catch up with what they said, because it's gonna be really annoying for them to re-explain everything that went down. Lastly, be respectful and back out of arguments because these are public. Let's say on the group, okay, on the Parho or Parhao group, WhatsApp group, me and Ibrahim, let's say we just get into a fight or an argument over something. Fine. If me and Ibrahim were to get into an argument personally, okay, in our private chats or in our private DMs, no one could see it. Okay, it'll be okay. It'll be all fun and games. Nothing's gonna happen. But now, getting into an argument on a group, you're doing it in front of other people. So you're embarrassing and showing what your image is to other people. You're messing up in front of other people. You're showing what your character is in a bad way in front of others. So try avoiding arguments and all that stuff on group chats. Try being as respectful as possible because no, it's not just you and your friend here. There are many other people as well who are involved. Same thing goes with the personal one, right? As I said earlier, the personalizing. Don't make inside jokes or don't talk about stuff that other people are not aware of because it's going to create an awkward situation for everyone else. So now that's pretty much it about the group chats. Now, before all of you leave, okay, before we end this class, I just go over something really quickly. Right, it was a web page shared to me by Miss Snigger. I'll go over it quickly just to cover up any points that I may have missed in my whole presentation. Right. So, and one really important point which I saw was that don't spam exclamation marks or question marks. Okay, like understand the psychology behind them. Let's say I put one question mark, it's just me normally asking question. One exclamation mark, it shows I'm in a hurry, I'm in a rush, or I'm angry or something, right? But spamming like three exclamation marks or no, three question marks, okay? Three question marks shows like you're curious. Like I can say really, okay? Like did that really happen? Or I can say really, that actually happened. That's like me using three exclamation marks. So you get it? Don't not sorry, not exclamation mark, question marks. Spamming three question marks is like more of a intense or there's more emphasis on the question. Like really, did that happen? Compared to just one. And I'm on my way. Okay, let's say I'm on my way. Let's start type that normally. I'm on my way with one exclamation mark. I'm in a hurry, and I spam it with three things. That means I'm going at like 100 miles per hour on the highway. That's literally what means I'm on my way with three exclamation marks. Moving on, as I said, so I'll just go to the points. All caps make you smaller. Yeah, we already discussed how all caps just show you're bad. Fine. Moving. We also talked about controlling your emojis. Don't get carried away. Also, don't use that much abbreviations, right? Because a lot of people may not know the abbreviation. Let's say ISTG. Okay, like some of you people may not know that abbreviation, but I do. I know it means I swear to God. ISTG. But a lot of you don't. So don't use abbreviations that everyone doesn't know. But most of you, I think everyone would know LOL, lol, right? So I can use that. If I use ISTG, a lot of you may have to ask what that means. If I use BRB, which means be right back, a lot of you will have to ask what that means. That just makes it awkward. That just gets rid of the point. Abbreviation is to make it smaller, and me having to explain it just makes just it's the opposite of what the point of abbreviation is. Moving on, avoid emotionally loaded topics. Again, with group chats especially, or with formal chats, let's say me and business, we won't have an emotional talk, okay, because we those aren't good on text. Fine. So just don't talk about them on text, and don't use emojis with them. Okay, as I said, if you're crying, don't put a crying emoji. Just tell them you're crying. You don't have to do that. Okay, moving on. Assume positive intent. These are some advanced words, but like let's just say this. I said the argument point. Try to avoid arguments, okay, and just stay in a good mood with everyone. And then no matter if you disagree with someone, you don't have to say I hate your idea. You can just say I'm not really fond of that idea. Like just learn your words, learn how to say stuff properly, learn how to say no properly, learn how to say that you don't agree with something in the right way, so it comes off as polite and not aggressive. And then be transparent. Important one, I said, with the sarcasm. I understand what you're doing. Okay, because let's say I make a sarcastic joke right now. Okay, and I say I make fun of something like one of you people said, like Ibrahim. Okay, he messages me privately. We don't need to go down that road again. But he sent that to me, and I make a sarcastic joke. Uh, yeah, Barcelona's the best team in the world. Okay, and something like that. I just tease him. Okay, and now again, a lot of you people will not be able to tell that I'm being sarcastic. A lot of you will not be able to tell what I'm trying to do, okay, with my words. That's really confusing, right? So a lot of you who don't know, you guys might think I actually support Barcelona, and I don't. Or some of you that will see that I'm being sarcastic will actually think I'm really rude because I'm not transparent enough to show that I'm actually making a joke, right? Because it's text, I can't show my voice. Let's say I say this, okay? I say, yeah, whatever, Barcelona's the best team. Now, when I sound like that, you guys see me as mad because of my voice. You can tell. Let's say, then I said a joke, yeah, whatever, okay? They're the best team. Now you understand that I'm joking because of my voice. But in text, you got to understand that there's no voice. It's only words. No one can tell what you actually sound like. So be careful with that. Be careful what you say on text. Okay, again, don't stress about typos. Just use asterisk sign in the next message. And don't mail chat. Like a lot of us are not using Gmail or email right now, okay, because a lot of us are young, we don't have to use it that much. But whenever you do, don't try to have conversations like how are you or stuff like that on Gmail or email, okay? Do that on Instagram in private DMs or in WhatsApp. That's pretty much it. All right, and thank you for all of you. Okay, and yeah, one more thing, sorry. If someone doesn't send a message, okay, don't go ahead and ask them what that message was. I'm guilty of this. Okay, I'm guilty. Like if someone unsends a message, I'll be like, what did you want to say? I'm like, they unsent it for a reason because they don't want me seeing it, right? So don't go ahead and be like, what did you say or something like that, because they don't want to say it. If they didn't want to say, they would have never unsent it in the first place, right? So don't go ahead and ask people that what they want to say, and don't criticize people's typos. Let's say I make a typo and I mess up a word. I don't have to point it out. As long as I understood what that word was, I don't have to point it out that you made a mistake. And that's pretty much it for today's class. Ms. Nagar, do
Thank
you
you.
have anything to add?
Thank you so much, Zen, and thanks for preparing such a valuable, informative talk on such a short notice. And I really appreciate
Thank
your
you, ma'am.
time and efforts. And it's okay, we understand that you had laptop issues, and I know that it never happened before. But you were very right regarding two important things. Like even in fact, today I got some abbreviations and I was unable to understand because right now the new generation is using new abbreviations, and we old people don't understand these abbreviations. And it is very important that now you guys are connected to like people of every generation through mobile and through the online classes, and everything has gone online. So either you are talking to your teachers or your like, as in Parho you have your students, and the communication skills are very important right now. Because of course, as Zen said, that you're not listening to anyone. The way of expressing something is very important. The tone and the mood of person is very important. Right now you are just listening to my voice, but even my body language is very important. But right now you're not watching me, so you cannot apprehend that what I mean to say. So this
Yes,
is very important, that avoiding abbreviations of your generation. You cannot apply those abbreviations and those things to our generation, like a generation before you, because as your parents, as your teacher, we won't be able to understand. And the one more thing that is very important, that because of this miscommunication, like relation between a student and a teacher, and a relation between a father or a son, or the parents or the siblings, like it may be very destructive. And so we have to care about these things. And again, once again, thank you so much, Zen, once
ma'am.
again.
If I
And
may add something,
yes,
okay. Sorry to interrupt you, but thank you as well. Okay, but if I may add something, just last note, like the most important one I could say is, I mean, understand the formality and the age difference between people you're talking to. Like, let's say there's a common phrase, like it's some in some level of difference. Okay, a lot of us people like 16-year-olds. I'm about to be 17. So between 16 to 17-year-olds, we have this phrase like we'll say, "ISTG, that was mad." Okay, like, which that means I swear to God that was mad, which is kind of expressing like excitement. Okay, but then if I send that phrase to my dad or to Miss Nikat or anyone else, they would probably assume, they first of all won't know what ISTG means, and secondly they won't understand what I specifically mean by that was mad. They will think about something else, because mad technically means angry. So be careful of what you're saying with different age people, because many people may understand. Let's say some younger people, they won't understand some advanced words, and older people won't understand your abbreviations or your slang. So be careful with who you're talking to. You can still be you, but just change the words when you're talking to different people, because it may get confused. And thank you.
thank you so much. So with this note, we are ending the class. Thank you so much. Inshallah, we will wait for your session, Sir Zain, inshallah, next Tuesday. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.
Jazakallah khair.